6 Charleston-area breweries have tapped their last pints in the past year, each with its own unique backstory. But while some kegs have kicked, the local beer scene is not going flat. Live 5's Justin Kollar shows us how the Lowcountry's love of craft brewing is evolving, one pour at a time.
These spaces once bubbled with conversation and the smell of fresh hops. But today, the taps have run dry. In just 12 months, 6 Charleston-area breweries have called it quits.
Gen Zs and the millennials are now finding alternative solutions to alcohol. They're very health conscious. They're just not drinking like our generation used to do.
Bevy Benny, Cooper River, The Brew Cellar, Fatty's, Palmetto, and Tradesman. Each closure had its own unique recipe of challenges, from shifting cultural habits to rising rent and steep statewide liquor liability.
Yeah, you got liquor liability costs are going through the roof. It's just the cost of business now is a lot more expensive than it used to be.
Nationwide, fewer folks are raising a glass. A new poll shows just over half of American adults drink alcohol. It's a sobering stat for breweries like Fatty's owner David McLean.
You have to look at yourself and say, do I want to sign up for 10 more years and struggle to stay around?
But across the harbor, one brewery is doing more than just surviving the struggle. It's growing.
You know, it's not rocket science. I think a good product with good service at a good value. We got the pumpkin beer coming out. We just brewed a double batch of that.
Mike Fielding, founder of Low Tide Brewing, signed a 9-year lease back in 2014 and started planning a new facility on land they'd own 3 years in.
In a capital-intensive industry like this, with all this equipment, you're at the mercy of your landlord or at the building that you're in. And so being able to be in control of your destiny is just so important. You had to be planning for that from the get-go to find the spot, to start working on that. And you know, that's a very difficult thing. And
his $22.2 million expansion is designed as a community hub first, with event space, outdoor stages, and plenty of room to brew.
You know, even I've had a landlord tell me, you look very busy, I think you can afford higher rent. And, you know, that was alarm bells to me, because it was like, okay, so if I'm not successful, I'm not successful. But if I'm successful, you're going to take that from me.
Back on the peninsula, McLean faced the same squeeze. Liquor liability insurance spiking tenfold, rent tripling, and a capital-heavy business model overall.
Brewing requires a ton of capital. My goal from the beginning was basically to sell Fatties all over the world. I wanted to sell Fatties in Tokyo, I wanted to sell it in Switzerland. The tap room wasn't going to bring people in to do that, so really our business plan from the beginning was distribution and really growing that distribution.
Rather than quitting outright, he refocused, partnering with another local brewer to keep Fatties flowing.
Fatties, we're not done by any means. We've got a great brewing partner right now up in North Charleston and Holy City. They're producing our recipes on a larger scale with better equipment.
Industry experts predict more shared brewing spaces and pop-up beer gardens. Fewer standalone tap rooms, but plenty of creative collabs.
There is this decline in alcohol consumption, and I think that's highly correlated with a decline in just human interaction. Everyone's online right now, everyone's on social media. You know, there's plenty of news stories out there about the pandemic of loneliness and how that's worse than smoking cigarettes. And I strongly believe that people need to get out and socialize more, and you know, beer is the perfect social lubricant for that.
In Charleston, the beer scene is hardly tapped out because craft beer here has always been about more than what's in the glass. It's about conversations, music, and shared tables. A culture that keeps fermenting, even as numbers fizz.
We would like to encourage consumption and socialization in moderation. I hope that that's a winning recipe for the long term.
On Johns Island, Justin Kollar, Live 5 News.
Low Tide Brewing hopes to open its new Johns Island facility by next fall.